In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of Figjam, an amazing tool offered by Figma that allows you to brainstorm, create strategies, or even simply take notes in a very fast and efficient way. So the very first thing that you want to do is to download Figma or open up Figma in your browser. So once you're in the home page, you can simply click on New Figjam Board. And as you can see, we are now in Figjam. And as the first step, we're going to rename this document to Notes. And below, you can see the main areas of interest, which are going to be the tools. The very first one is going to be the marker, which is going to enable you to simply draw directly onto the Figjam board. And as you can see, all of these elements are resizable, and you can change them up in a very fast and efficient way. Now, you can also add different shapes, such as ellipses. And if you hold the Shift key, you can actually create circles. And you can also add text within these shapes. So, for example, to write in text. And as you can see on the top, you're going to find all sorts of different tools which are going to enable you to change the shape, and actually literally if you wanted to use a rounded rectangle, for example, or change it to a diamond, you can do that even after you created the shape. You can also change the color. So you have all sorts of different presets which you can leverage in Figjam when it comes to the colors. Or you can simply click on the color wheel in order to sample a custom color directly from the wheel. So this is going to enable you to customize the Figjam file as you prefer. On top of that, there's also some other options which might be useful, such as the stroke. So if you want to add a stroke, you can simply select it here. You can also make it dashed. So these are all tools that are going to enable you to create documents with a clear hierarchy and visual structure, as you're going to see in just a moment. And you can also change the font of the text, and you can also make it bigger or smaller by using one of these presets, or alternatively you can even set your own amount, such as if you put it to 100%, as you can see, this is going to make it quite bigger. And of course, all of the basics such as making the text bold or adding a strike through. You can also add a link directly here. So if I go and change it to google.com, now we have a hyperlink directly into the document. And even when we export this Figjam file to a PDF, for example, you're going to have the hyperlinks directly there. On top of that, you can change the alignment if you wish, and other basics which we're going to explore in just a moment. So let's say that we're creating a sitemap for a new site that we are working on. I'm going to change this to home, and going to simply select the basic stroke. I can duplicate these elements by using Shift and the Option Alt key. And I can change the color. So we're going to say this is going to be the About Us. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Also in the size, let's make it extra large. And we're going to create a few other pages and rename it to Services, Contact Us. And now we can actually create a connection point, which is going to be really useful to create these hierarchies. So, for example, right here, as I click on connector, you can see that these 4 points appear in the element, And these essentially mean that if I hold and drag onto another element, there's going to be this connection point. You can also select the connection point and you can change the thickness, and also if you want to make it dashed or even add text in between. So for example, goes to, and again, all the other options that we explored just a moment ago are going to be available right there and then to customize the solution based on your visual needs. You can also create connection points directly from the sides. As you can see, these connection points are smart in the sense that they are going to realign and redistribute themselves based on what they feel it's a good connection anchor for that specific scenario. So these are all going to be quite useful in all the different instances that you might want to explore. Now, on top of that, another useful element in Figjam are the sticky notes. And these are going to be really useful whenever you're dealing with, for example, brainstorming sessions or things of that nature. So for example, I'm going to add a list over here, which is going to be with a few different items. Let's say list 2, list 3. As you can see, you can also view who created and worked on that sticky note. So again, there is this collaborative aspect which is really going to be a game changer whenever you're working in teams, because a person might be working on a sticky note of a color, another one of another color, so you can visually differentiate who worked on what. And this is something that we use at the company that I'm working on full time quite a bit whenever we're doing UX research, UX brainstorming. So all of these elements that we're seeing are actually elements that I'm seeing multiple teams use quite efficiently, especially if you organize the entire structure in a way such as in the ones that are suggested in the templates as we see right here. So for example, there is this template called the daily sync where you can see in action multiple of these elements all together. So over here you can see all the quick tips, which for the very most part is what we covered so far. And as you can see, you can have different sticky notes, different sections for different times and also different team members. So there's really the sky is the limit when it comes to all of these options in Figjam. Another cool thing that you can leverage is the stickers. And this might sound or seem like something that is used just for fun, but this can be actually quite useful whenever, for example, you wanted to quickly identify if an element or a design is good. You can simply add a positive sticker next to it. So you can also add stamps. This is something that we actually use even more than stickers. So I can actually get a few different designs from Figma, which you can copy very easily. I'm actually, I didn't prepare this ahead, but I'm just going to show you this because it's very, very easy. And here we have a dashboard that I recently worked on for a tutorial based on a UI kit. And I can literally drag and drop it inside of the file. I can also simply add the sticker on top of it. And this is going to enable, for example, a team to decide which design solution they prefer compared to a series of different options. So definitely something to keep in mind. You can also add sections, just like in Figma. So you can use a section to identify a set or a subset of designs in one single area. And on top of that, you can also add tables, which it's not a feature which I personally am using often, or almost not at all, but it's definitely an option, especially if you want to add some more granular data into the design process or the brainstorming aspect of it. So you can add, for example, data table, you can add text, and it's going to be a label. And then you can add all of the different numbers or elements related to that specific table. You can change the color, you can make them of any color you want, really, just like all the other elements. And you can be quite granular also when it comes to this. So for example, you can add the top column or the top row in a different column in order to identify the top labels from all the rest. And if there is, for example, a row at the very end that needs special attention, you can just change the color of that one. So you can go quite in detail when it comes to this feature. And yeah, it's pretty easy, pretty simple overall. There isn't much more that I want to share at this point. There's also the arrows, which might be useful to consider in some instances. And of course, just like you would in Figma, you can add comments and tag people directly here. So this is pretty much it when it comes to this introduction to Figjam. Hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the very next video.